This is Blood and Firewater, a true crime comedy discussion type podcast. We shoot tequila and we chase it with a case of murder. Just as a disclaimer, this podcast contains mature content not suitable for all ages, so listeners' discretion is advised. I am your host Rashad, and I would like to thank each and every one of you for tuning into the show. We promise not to be insensitive to the victims and respect their families. However, we will poke fun at other persons, places, and things involved with the case. And we will keep our opinions based on the facts of the case. We're not professionals, and we don't pretend to be. So, welcome to Blood... Okay. Welcome or welcome back. We're on episode 7 now. We are 2 hours away from my birthday. Also 2 hours away from Thanksgiving. I don't think I could spend a better time talking about a case other than the case we are about to do today.
Well, I'm here.
That's cool.
Yeah, but couldn't you not?
So we're talking about Jon Benet. We're talking about Jon Benet Ramsey here. Okay? She takes precedence.
I
over
understand,
you.
but you're about to be 32.
That's fine.
And you're sitting here recording your favorite case with your sister.
This is it. This is the case that makes people true crime fanatics.
Yeah, no, I was about to go in somebody's mouth when they said they didn't know who Jon Benet was.
Oh yeah.
2 people almost got it. Bow. Boom. Straight up.
So before we get started, let me cook this bitch real quick. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram at Blood and Firewater Podcast, on Twitter at BFW Pod Squad, and on Facebook at Blood and Firewater Pod. I think I've confirmed that now.
Yes.
Also, if you submit a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, we will shout you out on the show.
Do we have any new reviews?
We do have new reviews.
Pull them out.
All right, so the first one is from T. Miranda, 1967. She says, or he, I don't know.
You know.
She says, this is a fun podcast. I enjoy the brother-sister back and forth, and the research and delivery is great. I found myself a new regular. Smiley face emoji. Thank you, T. Miranda, 1967.
You're my brother?
What?
What?
We also have another one from Are You Alone? Okay. Love the back and forth banter. Very informal and a great listen. Looking forward to more from you too.
Heyo.
So, we're doing something right. I can't say everything is right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people in the world, and all the people that have, noticed us only had good things to say. So
well, that's good. I'm totally excited about the great things, coming into this podcast. So, there's only great things to come. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And it gets better. We're learning. This is a brand new, like, episode 7, okay?
People will know us.
So we hope that you enjoy this podcast half as much as we enjoy recording it.
It feels like detention.
It feels like detention?
JK, it was a joke.
No.
You're 32. Have a sense of humor.
Brandy's on her way out of this podcast. Already.
All right.
So
it's like detention. You mad, bro?
The sources of this case come from 20 years of dedicated research, along with reading The Death of Innocence by Jon and Patsy Ramsey, along with every single documentary you could possibly ever watch.
No, man, they're still coming. I seen some shit that was posted yesterday.
Yeah. Like every single one, including the Katy Perry one. Like, because for whatever reason, some people thought that I was crazy for even just saying, like, Katy Perry could be Jon Benet. And they were like,
there?
Who the fuck are you to be saying that this person could be that person? I was like, I didn't make this shit up.
Right. I mean, do you think Orlando Bloom knows the truth?
Maybe.
Well.
So.
That'd be mind fucking if that shit was true. It's just a theory. It's just a conspiracy. It's just a Illuminati ass.
So for this particular episode, I think this is going to end our holiday crime spree that we were doing, because we covered a case for Thanksgiving, we covered Halloween. Christmas, we covered Halloween. So
New Year's, we got New Year's. We
may do a New Year's one.
Yeah, man, we can pull that out of your ass. Your ass.
But as far as I know right now, this may end the.
I actually got one. Yeah, we're doing a New Year's case. But yeah, after that, we're done.
Okay, so this may not end the holiday crime spree.
New Year's one, bro. It's awesome.
So, without further ado, I'm gonna just
dive on in.
I'm gonna just dive on into this. Jon Benet Patricia Ramsey was born on August 6, 1990 in Atlanta, Georgia. She was the youngest to her parents, Patricia and Jon Benet Ramsey. Patricia and Jon also had an older son named Burke. We all know Burke. We know Burke, right?
Burke.
Okay, we know Burke. Jon also had 3 other children from another marriage, but a daughter died in a car crash in 1992.
You know what? I'm going to say something. Jon Benet Ramsey. That's... Like, I thought Jon Benet was really original.
Mm.
And then I just seen his full name.
Yeah.
Damn, Jon.
In 1991, Jon moved the family to Boulder, Colorado, where Access Graphics, the company he was the CEO and president of, was located. They were heavily involved in the community and later became socialites. So, like, you would see Jon and Patricia out, and they'd be like, hey, check them out. There they go.
Oh, there's Jon and Patricia. Hey.
Hey. It was Boulder is a small town.
I'm sure.
Like, when we went out to Colorado, we wanted to go see the Ramsey house.
Yeah, I was too busy getting hit up for timeshares.
Oh, yeah, that did happen.
Colorado's finest.
So.
Why didn't y'all get to make it?
We were our Airbnb. Our Airbnb was
too far.
It was like 2 hours away from the house.
No, that's like something you.
But it was only fucking like 45 minutes away from the Chris Watts house. But it was before that shit happened.
Oh shit! You could have walked up to him, hey man.
Yeah, that was the weird part I thought about. So Jon's company blew up and he hit instant baller status. So he did what any baller would do, and he bought the biggest, most complicated house in the neighborhood. It was a 6,500 square foot, 4-story, 104 window having, making the front page news type of house.
That's a lot.
Yeah. 104 windows.
I mean, what are you trying to see? Jesus.
I don't know. That's a lot.
You're trying to see Jesus. There you go.
The house was on 755 15th Street. And it was also in rough shape. It was a fixer-upper, if you will. Several windows needed to be replaced. They had to get an elevator removed out of the house. And there were no walls on the second floor.
That's what she said. I'm sorry.
It had recently been remodeled but poorly executed. It was long and narrow, so like if you're looking at the front of the house, you'd be like, "Oh, that's a nice house." But like that bitch had depth to it.
Like a straight back kind of thing, like.
So they began the remodel of the house soon after moving in, and it became a pain in the ass for a family of 4 to live in. It was also in 1991 where Patricia Ramsey started entering JonBenét in beauty pageants. She was 1.
Right. I can't even.
By the age of 6, she had won multiple pageant titles, including America's Royal Miss, Little Miss Charlevoix, Little Miss Colorado, Colorado State All-Star Kids Cover Girl, and National Tiny Miss Beauty, and also Miss Sunburst Colorado.
That's a lot. No wonder they knew who the fuck they were.
So the Sunburst competition was one of the biggest because it was a national event, and it had like several categories. Like you had the swimsuit competition, you had the leisure wear, you had the nightgown. Like there was a bunch of categories that JonBenét competed in and won multiple of. So if you've seen a video of JonBenét, it probably came from the Sunburst competition or the Royal Miss one, because they were both like national competitions. They probably weren't in Colorado, but
I never could really pay attention to what category it was because I was too.
just like blown away. You're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this little girl, and then like in these bustiers and these little get-ups and shit. Like, whose kid is this?
So it's alleged that after the murders, the videos and the pictures of JonBenét had been doctored or photoshopped over the years to make her look more flirty, more seductive.
Right. That's where I was getting at.
Adding more suggestive music, slowing her movements down to make her look more promiscuous, like as a fucking 6-year-old.
Yeah, like slow porn. Soft porn.
Okay, yeah. So there's that.
I mean, it is what it was.
All right, so at 6 years old, JonBenét pretty much accomplished more than I have in 32 years of life. So naturally, you would think the holder of all these titles and trophies she would be like a glamour kid. You know what I mean? Like some type of kid you see on Toddlers and Tiaras or something like that. But quite the contrary. JonBenét loved to play in mud. She loved to get dirty. She climbed trees. She loved to skate. She took violin and piano lessons, and she was in the process of being signed up for rock climbing lessons. According to Patsy, JonBenét's true passion was to perform. She had no fear in front of a crowd, and one of her favorite games to play was a game called Presenting. So, this is a game where Patsy would, sit in the living room or one of multiple living rooms that they had, and she would say, "Presenting!" And JonBenét would come walking out on a makeshift catwalk and present. So the story behind that is Patsy was also a pageant child. She won multiple pageants, and she was awarded, like, I think Miss West Virginia or something like that. So she was in the circuit, you know what I mean? So like naturally when they moved to Colorado, maybe she was like trying to find something to do or whatever, so she entered JonBenét into a pageant at 1 year old.
Out of all
1
the
year?
things,
1 year old.
1 year. But
So
out of all the things that she liked, pageants, really?
well, I don't think it was the pageants. It was the attention. You know what I mean?
Look at my little girl.
Well, I mean, okay, so think about, like, I feel like a lot of that,
No, What do people
Attention
do?
comes from the fact that the parent is almost living through the child.
Well, yeah, that's like a fucking syndrome, though, because it's like anytime I think about Brielle and Kennedy being on any kind of platform, I immediately get scared. Like, I don't know if it would be from just things that has happened to kids or even before shit like this would happen to kids. It still has to be scary. Now you're putting your child out there to the world.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but like at the same time, if this is something that your child enjoys doing,
No, I get that, but if it was being force fed, I'd be like, all right, I did want to do this when I was little, but now I got a kid and I got to see what the hell she wants to do because I had her and then my life kind of revolved around her. I wouldn't be so selfish to live through a child because I didn't get to fulfill my dreams. Fulfill, whiskey and Kahlua. And Rashad's drinking tequila. Jesus, a lot of liquor in here. Turn up 32-8. But yeah, no, if I didn't fulfill my dreams, just, kick the can, fucking find something else.
but let's say you were super into race cars, okay? You wanted to drive a race car your whole life.
I get teaching your kids
No. Like, not teaching them, but like, let's say they saw pictures of you, in your dreams of wanting to be a race car driver. And then they were like, hey, that looks cool. Let me try it. And then they try it and they fucking like it.
Yeah, but statistically, they stop liking it after a while. But anyway, we're going too far.
We don't have it after a while here.
Yeah, JonBenét didn't get it after a while. But, like Patsy was the pageant queen. So, of course, she was like, hey,
I mean, she has a 1-year-old.
Johnny? What do you think she called JonBenét?
JonBenét.
The whole thing? Come on, guys. What do you think was short for JonBenét?
JonBenét.
JB.
JB.
JB, are you with me?
That's disrespectful.
All right.
So let's rewind back about
the whole presenting.
No.
Right?
No.
No, okay.
Let's rewind back about 3 days before the murder.
All right.
Now, 3 days before the murder, this isn't in the script. I just know this. There was a tour of houses type thing. For the Christmas season, where like a
parade, maybe
not a parade,
but
people in the neighborhood would tour other people's houses
inside.
Yeah, inside.
What?
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, you see, if y'all could see my face.
there was a thing. Okay, they made a Christmas video and had it like circulated throughout the neighborhood. Like, hey, come check out our house. It's bomb as fuck. And like Christmas decorations, like I think their house was a gingerbread house. You know what I mean? Like they made their house look like a fucking gingerbread house.
Yeah, no,
that's only ballers can only do that shit. I've never thought like, hey, I'm about to fucking make my house look like a gingerbread house.
Yeah, no, I ain't letting nobody come in my house. First of all.
So there's that. They had a opportunity for multiple hundreds, if not in the thousands, of people to come into their house. So you have you have fingerprints everywhere at this point. You have other people's DNA, loose hairs, jacket and coat fibers everywhere.
You can have a fucking butler or
and
maid.
Then
can't clean that shit.
After the tour houses thing, they also had a Christmas party after that. So let's go ahead and throw some more on top of this. So lowball at least 1,500 to 2,000 people came in and out of their house the day or 2 days before the murder.
Yeah, no, that would fucking suck. Are you thinking about it? Like, yo, I just had 2,000 people over. No, I mean, just over time. Like, in this whole month, I've had so many people here. I don't even begin to know what to tell you who had a fucking motive. Like, I can't.
So,
Strangers.
we're going to pick the story up Christmas Day, 1996. The morning began as most Christmas mornings do. The kids, Jon Benet and Burke, were called to the morning of opening presents while the parents prepared Christmas breakfast. After breakfast, Patsy began to pack for a trip to Atlanta, Georgia to go see the other kids in John's family. They had a cruise planned for Patsy's 40th birthday to go on like Disney's fucking cruise.
Fuck the big red boat.
Yeah, fuck the big red boat. Like I've never like I guess I don't make enough money to even know that Disney does cruises. So there's that.
I never understand when people say Disney cruise. Like, is there gonna be alcohol?
Probably, yeah.
Right? No, and somebody says Disney cruise. I'm like, wait, so is it adult friendly?
So while everybody else was busy, John decides to go to the airport. Like, I say airport, and you're picturing like GSP or something like that. I mean, like, this is like a private airport. You know what I mean? Like, this is like a hangar type deal. And he goes to talk to the pilot that's flying his plane to Atlanta, Georgia. So not only does he have his plane, but he also has someone flying it.
So a co-pilot.
Ballin'. No, he's not. He's not a co-pilot.
He's just that guy?
Granted, John does know how to fly planes. He says it in the book that he's like, yeah, I can fly a plane, but I hired someone else to fly my plane to Atlanta from Colorado. Ballin'. Okay?
Ballin'.
After John got back, they had a dinner party planned at the White's house. The Whites are a family friend, like one of the closer family friends. You know what I mean? After about 8:30, according to John, after the Ramsey family decided to head home, Jon Benet passed out in the back seat. Burke's still awake. Patsy's still awake. They're on their way home, but Patsy has to like drop off some presents, like to like other people. So it takes them about an hour to get home. With Jon Benet asleep in the back seat, the Ramseys arrive back at 755 15th Street. John carries Jon Benet into the house, and Patsy gets Jon Benet ready for bed. At about approximately 9:30, Burke is led to bed, and the family retires. Christmas went great. Nobody's dead yet.
Burke's great. Burke's still great. You guys know Burke.
So, December 26th, 1996. John and Patsy are awake at about 5:45 in the morning. 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. And their goal is to get packed, get dressed, and have everything ready before the kids wake up. They routinely would have Jon Benet and Burke fly in their private plane in their pajamas.
You the goat. That was a lot of peas. You just dropped a lot of fucking. You got it, bro.
So
birthday shit.
Could you imagine being able to get in a private jet in your pajamas?
Yeah, I could.
Okay. So
it'd be nice, but you know.
Patsy goes down a back stairwell to the second floor where the kids' rooms are located, and she packs some extra stuff. from what I understand about the house, or at least the second floor, is Jon Benet's room was the closest room to a laundry closet type thing.
Okay.
So so Patsy is, it, for lack of better words, really close to Jon Benet's room, packing extra stuff, according to her and the blueprints of the house that I looked at. The laundry closet in Jon Benet's room are, I don't know, a pinky nail apart. And she's packing, like, just extra clothes because she packed the night before. Now she wakes up and starts packing extra shit. Like, they don't have, like, you got your own private jet. You don't have clothes where you're flying to.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I would keep shit on board. Like, so, hey, Rashad, pull my jet up. You got some bags?
They got every intention in the world to wake up Jon Benet and Bert right before they leave. But, for lack of consideration, they were like, fuck that. Patsy heads down a spiral staircase to the main floor, and then she stops. All right, so the back spiral stairwell case is extremely narrow. It's like, when I first heard, like, it was a spiral staircase in the back, I thought it was like this big, grand spiral staircase. Like, no, it's like one of those cheap Walmart looking spiral staircases.
This house. Wait.
Well, they were in the middle of remodel, so, like, it could have just been temporary.
Say, bro, this house has 104 windows. You think they got a Walmart fucking staircase?
Yeah.
No, they got chandeliers.
I haven't heard the word chandelier in a while.
You ain't heard him?
So,
I call it a chandelier.
In my opinion, I think that she would have had to completely go down the stairs. Because
give or take, think about going in a just loop and then stopping.
It's dark, okay?
That
you're not gonna see three pieces.
Yeah, I agree.
You got two kids. Shit gets all, like, you think I'm gonna look down on a spiral staircase?
Nah.
No, because I'm already concentrating really hard just getting down that staircase. So, this half-asleep woman makes it down the staircase, right? She notices before she hits the bottom that there's a 3-page letter. And I have it right here.
No way.
Let's go ahead and just check a gun
Sit back. Relax.
She turns around. She picks up this letter. She doesn't read the whole thing.
Of course.
I'm going to read the whole thing.
What?
Yeah.
Let me be the operator.
It's a letter. There's no operator in a letter. So, Mr. Ramsey,
Damn whiskey.
Listen carefully. We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We respect your business, but not the country that it serves. At this time, we have your daughter in our possession. She is safe and unharmed, and if you want her to see 1997, you must follow our instructions to the letter. You will withdraw $118,000 from your account. $100,000 will be in $100 bills, and the remaining $18,000 in $20 bills. Make sure that you bring an adequate size attaché to the bank. When you get home, you will put the money in a brown paper bag. I will call you between 8 and 10 a.m. tomorrow to instruct you on delivery. Delivery will be exhausting, so I advise you be rested. If we monitor you getting the money early, we might call you early to arrange an earlier delivery of the money and hence an earlier pickup of your daughter. Any deviation of my instructions will result in the immediate execution of your daughter. You will also be denied her remains for proper burial. The two gentlemen watching over your daughter do not particularly like you, so I advise you not to provoke them. Speaking to anyone about your situation, such as police, FBI, etc., will result in your daughter being beheaded. If we watch you talking to a stray dog, she dies.
Damn.
If you alert bank authorities, she dies. If the money is in any way marked or tampered with, she dies. You will be scanned for electronic devices, and if any are found, she dies. You can try to deceive us, but be warned, we are familiar with law enforcement countermeasures and tactics. You stand a 99% chance of killing your daughter if you try to outsmart us. Follow our instructions, and you stand a 100% chance of getting her back. You and your family are under constant scrutiny as well as the authorities. Don't try and grow a brain, John. You're not the only fat cat around, so don't think that killing will be difficult. Don't underestimate us, John. Use that good southern common sense of yours. It's up to you now, John. Victory, SBTC.
They coming for John head.
Now,
That baby was a sacrifice.
some Illuminati shit.
All day. I'm sorry, guys, but I strongly believe in Illuminati because everybody know that there's Illuminati. Don't act like there's not. It's almost like a religion. Like, you believe in some kind of Illuminati. Like, there's secrets. Unsealed documents. Or sealed documents.
So, I forgot to mention that, no, well, I didn't forget. So, after she discovers the letter...
I didn't forget.
Never forget. So Patsy glances over the letter. She sees the words, "We have your daughter." Then she sees SBTC victory. She gasps for air, and then she quickly sprints back up the spiral staircase to the second floor where Jon Benet's room is to reveal that the events described in the letter are in fact real. Jon Benet is officially missing the day after Christmas, 1996. She calls for John and asks what they should do, and he replies, "What about Burke?" The race continues down the hall where they discover him sound asleep. Their story is they decided together that it wasn't appropriate to wake him up. Okay.
Do you agree to disagree?
I completely
What?
disagree. I'm sorry,
What
but
is
like
Burke
if
gonna
I
do?
got two kids and one is not where they're supposed to be, I'm gonna go and ask the other one where that one is. And if they don't know, then I'll be like, all right, cool. I'll be right back. Obviously, I have some more parenting to do because I lost a kid. So, yeah, I would have woke Burke up and been like, "Hey, where's your sister?" If he was like, "I don't know," then I'm like, "All right, cool."
No, that creates more panic than necessary at the time.
How many times have you heard, "Where's someone else?"
A lot. I almost called the fucking missing person number like one time for Paige. So
John gets his hands on the letter and takes off down a back hallway and collapses on his hands and knees to read the letter. John, obviously devastated, yells for Patsy to call 911. Their words, not mine. In the book. This book.
right there.
That's where they said it. So, we're going to play the 911 call right now.
I'm sending him out the phone, okay? Do you know how long she's been gone? No, I don't. Please, we just got out. Is she right here? Oh my God, please. Okay, well, I am, honey. Please. Take a deep breath, okay? Hurry. Patsy.
Okay.
Fucking.
So here's my problem with the 911 call. And I'm going to start with every 911 call I've ever heard in my life.
All right. How's that go, Rashad?
They usually tell you not to hang up.
Oh, yeah. That's true. I hang up. Remember that?
Patsy hung up.
Yeah.
So I don't know where
They still come anyway.
Hmm?
They still come anyway, whether you hang up or not.
Oh yeah, they're gonna show up.
You've called
I know
them
that
many times for nothing and hung up.
Another problem I have is in the letter and in the 911 call, no one ever said Jon Benet. Like, you didn't hear it one time.
Yeah, it's just my daughter. I mean, maybe she was an actual human being at that moment.
Well, a human being.
She was fucked up. Like, yo, my daughter is fucking missing. My name is, find her. You know, like, my name is so and so.
So like, she had the audacity to describe her, blonde hair, 6 years old. No name though. That doesn't strike you as weird.
Homegirl didn't ask her.
So you don't describe your daughter as describe Briella Kennedy as your daughter. You describe them as
Bree and Ken.
So they have names.
Right.
Why didn't this child have a name? In the ransom note?
She was in shock.
Okay.
Listen, I don't like.
So
Patsy,
you're telling me that the kidnappers may have been in shock that they didn't know who the fuck they were kidnapping.
No, they knew exactly what the fuck they was doing. They were talking to John like they
They knew exactly who he was.
Patsy was around all the time, so I reckon.
You reckon? All right, so with all that being said, the note, or the 911 call, disgusting. The letter, though, is where I have a lot of problems. If you read the letter correctly, and we're going to pretend like certain events haven't happened, like the death of Jon Benet, let's say they have her in captivity, and they're not planning to do anything awful unless you don't listen carefully, as the letter said, right?
Right.
So it said not to call the police. If you call the police, they'll show up in police cars. They'll show up in police uniforms, and they'll also show up with dogs. Personal experience. So if she did call the police and they're watching the house, or they're watching them like they said they would be more or less like this bitch.
We told her.
We literally wrote down in the note not to call the police. And that's the first thing they did. Right. So if the time was taken to quote unquote listen carefully, would you agree that they could have requested unmarked police cars or, police officers not dressed in uniform to show up to the house?
Yeah. Another thing. What about the very small ransom demand for such a wealthy family and such an awkward amount of money requested? Coincidentally,
so the
exact amount of money.
The amount of money was John's bonus for Christmas.
Yeah, right?
All right, so
How do they know the exact amount of this man's bonus?
well, you're not gonna tell your employees like, hey, I just got $118,000 bonus for Christmas. What did y'all get?
Right? I was bragging about that $100 tip earlier. Like,
So yeah, you're not gonna do that. It implies that someone knew something, but it's very rare that you'll find someone that knows someone else's exact bonus. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, one more thing that irks me is the fact that it's the longest letter in fucking history to ever be written about a kidnapping. Like legit, it's the longest ransom note ever. Back in the day, they would cut out fucking
A little fucking
like
letters
little
and,
squares
yeah.
and shit, and glue them to a piece of paper and be like, "Got your kid, 10 o'clock.
See ya.
See ya."
Yeah, I mean, what about? And I don't know if we're gonna ever cover this, but those three hillbillies from Evil Genius. That was a long ass letter. That was a whole scavenger hunt. I think we should do a season of scavenger hunt murders because that shit's real. But was that not a long ass thing too? It was a legit script.
Oh no, I've never seen what you're
You
talking
never seen Evil Genius?
about.
Oh my God, Rashad is slipping. Yo, watch it. Oh my God, if you haven't watch it because that is also a long ass ransom note for everybody just to end up dead. Spoiler alert.
So lastly, if the kidnappers happen to arrive after midnight, let's say they arrived after midnight. 8:30 they got home. JonBenet's in bed. 9:30 Bert goes to bed. Let's say 10:30 John and Patricia go to bed. So it's 10:30. They're asleep at about 11:30, 12 o'clock. So they
sleep.
like you know, you hit that deep realm like that one. So
I made that sound, but he fucking nailed it. Knocked out, KO. You going
so
night-night.
let's say it's midnight. They're in the house doing their thing after midnight. So they say in the letter, we'll call you tomorrow between 8 and 10. Tomorrow meaning the 26th or the 27th. You know what I mean? So like there's no clarification.
Right, no. Like,
Usually if you're going to write such a long ass fucking letter, you're going to be like, "Hey, we'll call you December
yeah, no,
we're going
like your birthday. It is in 45 minutes. But is it today or is it tomorrow?
depends on what side of the world you're on."
Yeah, I know, but in the literal sense that you're speaking
They're
of,
from a
like,
foreign country.
it's midnight, but so are you talking about the 28th or the 27th tonight?
Hey. Okay, let's
Birthday. Hey, I'm gonna take you to the strip club.
let's
32.
wind it back.
32. Oh, if I could Fortnite. God damn it. I can, but I can't. How I'm sitting. Fortnite.
These guys are professionals, okay?
Obviously, because they am like
A small foreign faction, attaché, okay?
attaché.
There's no way they could whoopsie daisy the ransom note. Like, oh, we wrote way too much, or maybe we didn't write enough. Maybe it should have been 4 pages.
Yeah, I wonder how many drafts it was before they did they eat breakfast, shower.
3 minutes after Patsy calls the police, Officer Rick French arrives and begins questioning Jon Benet. He's shown the letter, and as this is all going down, friends of the family begin to show up because, you know, as soon as she called the police, she was like, "Oh, no, I got to get everybody in the neighborhood over here. Like, we need to figure this out." community watch shit. So she calls the Fleets, she calls the Frenches, she calls the family next door, she calls everybody. She's like trying to get everybody in on this. She even calls the priest, and the priest shows up. Like, whole bunch of people into a crime scene. Meanwhile, Burke's still just asleep.
Night. Melatonin.
I have my
Top
own
PM.
I have my own little theory about that, and we'll
Yeah,
we'll go over that
meds.
in part 2.
Okay. Where the fuck is that?
John
you pointed over there.
John wakes
Where's part 2?
John wakes Burke up at some point after all these people are in the house, and he's like, "Hey, son, listen to me, son,
Wake up.
wake up. Your sister's missing,
Man, all right.
and I need you to leave too."
Where am I going, Papa?
He didn't ask any questions. He just got up and go. Like, it was in the book, this book, The Death of Innocence. It says my man got up and left and took the Nintendo 64 he got for Christmas with him. Like, nothing happened.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
when he left, did he know?
yeah, they told, like, hey,
Don't mind
your
the
sister's gone.
1,700 people in here right
We
now.
need you to go too. So, I imagine back inside the house, it's an emotional circus. Like, no one knows what to do. No one knows how to act. No one knows how to react. Like, it's like you want to do something, but you don't know what to do. So you're like kind of just sitting on your hands.
Yeah, that's how I am at like every party I go to here lately.
But the first thing someone should have did was the police and told everyone to leave when they got there. Because this is, regardless if it's a kidnapping or...
Yeah, you think in 96 that they know better.
Well, okay, to your point, it's Christmas. A lot of your supervisors, the lieutenants, all these people, they're on vacation. So they're sending in the junior varsity squad.
What
Yeah,
if we
they're sending
went
in people
and was
like us.
Yo, man, we supposed to be.
And like I could do just as good as they fucking did at this
I couldn't
point.
imagine if I worked with my brother.
Like, hey,
Man,
everybody out the fucking house.
Rashad, chill. No.
So that's what they should have did in the beginning, is get everybody out the house. We're gonna search this house.
Yeah.
You said your kid's missing.
We gonna find her.
Fucking prove it, because we're gonna fucking flip this house. Like, I've seen search warrants for drugs get tossed. Like, that's what they call it in the police.
A raid. Nigga.
No, they toss your house.
Right.
Like, I've seen
Like
people
you
look for
toss
fucking
yourselves?
quarter pounds harder than they look for this child. You know what I mean? So, like, my house got tossed. And I was
Y'all
like,
didn't even
damn,
find
if
it,
y'all
yeah.
did this for fucking Jon Benet, y'all probably would have fucking found her the first time now, wouldn't you?
Slip that in there.
But, like, I don't live in Colorado. And they would have been like, where are you from?
Hey.
And
hey,
why
so
do you sound like
whose
that?
man's is this? Why you? Come on, man.
Needless to say, Boulder police dropped the ball here. Like, if you drop the ball here in the very fucking beginning, nothing else is going to be right. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe nothing was going to go right since they fucked up step one. You know what I mean?
Numero uno.
Police also start helping John get the $118,000 ready, but like it takes a minute. You know what I mean? So as this is going on, police.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it takes a minute to get $118,000 ready, especially when $100,000 are in the $100 bills, and then the other $18,000 in 20s. Somebody has to count it. Okay?
Listen, Linda, while we talking about all this money, in South Carolina, fun fact, somebody threw away the fucking biggest lottery ticket that we had going on here, some shit. And we're all getting a $50 check from the IRS. That
Oh, I got one.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Fuck. Somebody at work got one. I'm like, I can't wait.
I got one. I was like, what the fuck
What is this for? Somebody threw the ticket away. So, everybody in, I guess, the upstate and all of down here are, maybe all of South Carolina? I don't know. Are getting $50 checks because some dumbass threw away a probably $50 million ticket. So, that's what's going on here. It's also cold as fuck. You were saying, brother.
So, police began to make preparations to get the $118,000.
A lot of money.
And they also come back to the house with phone monitoring equipment, obviously making it apparent that they're recording phone calls. Like, they're coming in the house with, like, I assume a box.
Yeah, no, we're strapped now. A couple hours later, we got it.
Yeah, we got cop cars up right outside the house.
Now. Hey, everybody, come down here and grab something.
Detectives asked Jon and Patsy if anybody that they think may have committed the kidnapping, and Jon comes up with the name of a recently disgruntled employee named Jeff Merrick. He was fired and pissed about it. Patsy suggests that the cleaning lady, Linda Hoffman Pugh, also could be a suspect. Pugh called a couple days before Christmas and asked for an advance in her pay, but the Ramseys didn't say no, but they didn't say yes at the time.
Today's Christmas.
$2,500. Like, can I get that on face?
Pew was like, I'm gonna go pew. I'm about to fuck up Christmas for y'all then.
Now, at this time, mid-afternoon, no phone calls from the kidnappers. No one treating this like a crime scene. They're like helping clean the house. They're washing dishes. They're wiping down counters. They're getting rid of fucking hella evidence.
What was that?
No more evidence is here because they're fucking Lysoling it down.
No, y'all need these dishes washed? Like, people just standing around doing shit.
The only room that remained untouched was Jon Benet's room. That's the only room in the house, 104 windows, that remain untouched.
I don't understand that.
Jon grows restless, and around 1 p.m., Detective Arndt asks that he and his accountability buddy, Fleet White, you remember the White family?
Right.
They asked that they search the house from top to bottom with an emphasis on not touching anything. Just search.
How? How, though?
How do you not touch anything?
Oh. I mean, like, okay, first of all, at this point, if I had not known anything about this case, I would think that this was all a decoy. Like, everybody just search around because...
How is it a decoy if they found her in the house?
Exactly. Like, let's start a fucking circus for people, like... They fucked it up, basically. Like, and it was just like a runaround to buy time to make it all make sense.
How is it a runaround to make it make sense?
I just
if
think
the kid's
was
already
like
in the house the entire time.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just
a distraction.
But yeah, I guess.
Like maybe some heavy political shit was going on. And they were like, "Hey,
they wanted it to be big, so they had to make it like with such a distraction like that." I don't know. The ransom, no, the plan to fucking go somewhere the next day, and all of a sudden this shit happens. The parties before, like, it just seems super premeditated and a huge ass distraction as like the icing on the cake. Just me. I mean, shut me up.
So just like in the Moxley case where police trust that Julie Skagel would search the house for them and be honest about finding the murder weapon and then bringing it to them promptly.
Yo, I'm stealing. B. Search this house, bet. Because it's 25 other people in here, and it's Christmas. You heard?
So, like I said previously, Arndt said, search the house from top to bottom. John's like, fuck that. This is my house. We're going from bottom to top. John goes straight down into the basement. John goes straight down into a room that had not been searched by Officer French or Fleet. Fleet had also been down in the basement too. There's a room in their basement that was locked.
Who opened the door then?
John did.
John opened a locked
No
door.
one.
I was just like, I know this case, y'all, but I'm just like, okay, I knew the kid was in the basement, but inside a locked.
Yeah, it was a latched door. Like it had been latched when the first two guys saw it.
That's horseshit.
They were like, okay, so obviously no one has been in here because it's still locked.
Yeah, because somebody sent Dewey down there to fucking check it.
Okay, so Dewey didn't check it, and then Dewey number 2 didn't check it. So like, John goes straight downstairs. He goes straight to this room. He opens the door. There's okay. I'd imagine they had windows in their basement, but in this fucking room, there's no windows, so there's no light. It's in the middle of the afternoon. There's no light. John opens the door. He screams, "I found her!" Then turns on the light.
Okay, so it took John 2 minutes. What took them all day to do?
Pretty much.
Great.
Their basement was
another fucking house, probably.
Yeah, it was pretty much like a two bedroom apartment. Like there's rooms, there's closets. There's
a house, man. You live down there. You live down there. You know.
I don't even know what the fuck that means, but like, yeah. But like, 2 other people had searched throughout the basement and didn't discover this door. So like, I get it. Like you look at a closet and you're like, there's no way this person just wound up here, whatever. But needless to say, John fucking nails it first try. Okay. That's just what happened. Facts.
Factual.
This episode's all facts. The second part, we'll fucking shoot shots all over this bitch.
Mm-hmm. We're good. We're good at that.
So, John opens the door. He finds Jon Benet on the floor. She's covered in a white blanket. Her hands are bound above her head with a nylon rope tied around her hands, like her hands are bound. She has tape around her mouth. Her eyes are shut, and her skin is ice cold. John begins to untie Jon Benet. He picks her up and carries her back up the stairs into one of the living rooms.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
They had a lot of
104 happened.
104 windows.
Look, it's 101. Correct.
I have barely 12 windows in my house. They have 104.
Right. No, that makes you think.
No, it doesn't make me think.
No, I'm saying, like, I think I only have, like, 12 windows, too. Shit.
Yeah.
Step our game up.
So, John takes Jon Benet back upstairs, and he lays her right in front of Detective Arndt in one of the living rooms. They had a Christmas tree for every room in the house. You know how expensive that fucking is? Okay, so, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
John and Detective Arndt check for Jon Benet's vitals, and Arndt declares Jon Benet deceased at that time. She's like, yeah, this kid's not here.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Get her up.
Truest Truthishly,
Shoot.
I would go into fits of crying, screaming, anguish, followed by very vivid hallucinations of what I would do to the person that did this to my daughter, followed by a drastic drop in wanting to live myself.
Yeah.
But what I can't do in all my years of true criming is judge what someone else would have done in that same situation. Yes, if I see my daughter laying on the ground, I'm going to pick her up.
Yeah.
If there's tape on her mouth, I'm going to take it off. If like there's any instance that I feel like I could wake her up, I'm going to do, like, I'm gonna slap her face. I'm gonna like shake her. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and wake you up.
You gonna wake up today?
You gonna wake up. So I can't say what he did was wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
So afraid that Patsy would see the daughter, he covers her face with a blanket. I can't say I would do that.
No. It's like, damn if I do and damn if I don't.
I mention it because it severely fucks up any kind of evidence that you would maybe attain from.
Yeah, whether it's saliva or hair.
I'm gonna do some stuff, but I know some stuff too. So I'm not gonna do that much. I'm not gonna put something else on top of her face.
It's just rude after
That's
that
just
point.
me though. I can't judge
It's
him,
rude after that
but that's
point.
just me.
They said fuck all the other evidence. At this point, that's just rude.
So Patsy comes in the room. She sees Jon Benet on the floor.
Patsy
She
was gonna see
immediately breaks down. She's on top of Jon Benet's body. She's saying her last goodbyes. She's saying the most crazy shit I've ever heard anybody say. It's in the book, The Death of Innocence. If you're curious as to what she wrote, because she is an author of the book,
I'm actually gonna take this book tonight.
then
Spend a lot of time in the bathroom.
please pick a copy up. We got it Black Friday for $3.50. Like, it's
What's for Black Friday?
this book. I got it for $3.50.
Where? I'm gonna take it.
Second and Charles on Haywood Road.
Hey,
Um.
shout out. Maybe we get a like from them.
So, at this point, Arndt is on edge. She's like, this kid died a long time ago. Like, she's a detective, okay? She knows a dead body when she sees one.
Right.
And she knows this child has been dead for a while. So, right now, Detective Arndt is counting how many bullets she has in her gun. Because she's about to goddamn do numbers. A couple more detectives show up and they finally start asking everyone to leave the house and treat it like a crime scene. As they ask Jon what his plans are as far as residents, Jon says that he had spoken to his pilot about plans to go to Atlanta. Detectives advise Jon to pick somewhere more local. Like, you're not leaving Boulder anytime soon. The autopsy concluded that the cause of death was asphyxia by strangulation along with craniocerebral trauma or a skull fracture. An 8-inch crack in the skull. You know, this is 8 inches right here. I looked it up really. This is 8. For anybody that doesn't know, stick your thumb and your pinky out like you're doing the
Pinkies
what's
out.
up, bro? Do that. That's 8 inches.
On one hand?
Roughly.
Just like this?
Yeah. That's 8 inches. That's how big the crack in her skull was.
God. I didn't know what I was holding this up for, and then you just ruined that. Hey, man, and he just like...
Evidence shows vaginal trauma. Her hymen was partially broken.
Oh, man.
I really don't know what that means. Hopefully I'll be able to divulge
It means
into
her cherry
that.
was popped.
Well, no, it was partially broken. Her hymen was partially broken. I do know that much.
So she almost got a cherry pop.
I don't know. Okay, that's why I had to do more research.
You're just like a little bit shy because it's a child.
I don't want to talk about a child's hymen.
My brother got
ring.
respect, but he said hymen. I mean, if you're gonna be blunt and as
But what I do know was Jon Benet
slangful,
frequently wet the bed.
right?
So, with that being said, if there was vaginal trauma, okay, and let's say Patsy woke up in the middle of the night and had to wet wipe rub down this baby.
No, you did not.
Yeah.
You brought it back.
Then
wet
wet
right,
wipe rub down.
wet right rub down.
Wet wipe rub down.
Wet wipe. Rub
okay?
down.
So let's say that had to happen.
Wet wipe rub down.
It might have been more vigorous in the middle of the night than, let's say, you were in your conscious state of mind in the day. Like you're wiping your kid's ass in the middle of the day versus in the middle of the night. Like there's two different kinds of wipes. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
And a wet wipe rub down and wipe that off your.
So let's say there was traces of paper in her, like on her vagina.
Oh.
Which is, you would assimilate pieces of paper with a wet wipe, right? Because
I guess so. I mean, but shit.
Yeah.
That's a hard wipe.
Okay.
You wouldn't know. I'm sorry. Once again.
Again, we will just dig into that in the second part. Also, pineapples found partially digested, but they could tell within a time range when the pineapple had been ingested. It was shortly before she died. John reported that he took a sleeping Jon Benet directly to bed upon returning home, and no pineapple was served at the Christmas party that they attended. So,
pineapples are that.
Sometimes I feel like kids can find food stuff.
Yeah, like what? Like, babe, hey, did we have pineapple out?
And you given the fact that Burke went to sleep a full hour after Jon Benet, like maybe he was eating pineapple before she after the fact that she went to sleep, and then she woke up and was like, "My man's eating pineapple."
I need some of that.
Pineapple was her favorite. Like it was a snack in the house.
Why would Burke have it then? She probably just had her own little serving of it.
Maybe he liked it fucking too. I don't know.
But didn't they say that they don't recall pineapple being at the Christmas party?
Well, yeah, no. John said that no pineapple was at the.
So how did this little girl eat pineapple? Like, even if she got kidnapped and brought back to the house somehow, whatever you guys think happened, when and where and what time? And what time do you think this child had pineapples?
So I think we're going wrap part one up here. We're at the discovery of the body. We've covered the autopsy, or for the most part of what we're going to cover. It's really hard. It's really hard to do this case in one sitting. You know what I mean? Because like every time I look over it, I find myself looking further into one certain detail or another.
Finding something out new or whatever. Like every time.
It, like literally every time. It's my favorite.
It's his favorite.
And it's my birthday in 15 minutes.
15 minutes to the hour, you guys.
So, if you like the show, if you enjoyed it half as much as we enjoyed making it, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. If you write something, we'll shout you out on the show. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Blood and Firewater Podcast, Twitter at BFW Pod Squad, and Facebook at Blood and Firewater Pod.
What a mouthful. Jesus.
Yeah.
Just rewind if you didn't hear him the first time.
So, with that being said, look out for episode 7, part 2
Pop the bottle.
of Jon Benet Ramsey. There's no way we could do this in one episode. I'm so sorry.
way.
But
No way, Jose.
you'll thank us later.
Y'all say happy birthday on the Apple Podcast. Write a review telling him happy birthday. It's his 32nd birthday.
Hey.
He's my brother. He's my big little brother, guys. Like, he looks so much younger than me. He's the best. I love him so much. Happy birthday, Prince.
Thank you all.
Stay alert. Stay alive.